Is there something that you get that others don't give you to justify the cost difference? I mean, number one, Royal Caribbean's a market leader in my opinion. So in terms of the amenities that you're offered on board, in terms of the activities, the entertainment, the quality of the offerings, I think that any NCL, MSC, or Carnival fan would be the first to point out that the cruise line's offerings are not equal. Just because one cruise line offers one thing and Royal Caribbean offers a similar experience doesn't mean it's the same thing. I don't know if that makes sense. In terms of quality, in terms of preference, a variety of other things there. Um, I mean, I truly believe that one of the reasons why Royal Caribbean is where it's at is because it is a market leader in that regard. So you're paying a little bit for maybe that brand name, maybe for that cash, but also for what you get on board the ship. At the end of the day, it's what's being backed up on board. And listen, if you want a bottom barrel rate cruise fare, MSC is always going to be cheaper than Royal Caribbean. I mean, not always, but almost always going to be always cheaper, right? But the service on MSC versus Royal Caribbean, a little different. Little that's probably one of the biggest stumbling blocks, right? Is the food the same? It's just the old adage, you get what you pay for kind of thing, I think does apply to some extent. So it's a larger conversation, but that's my 37-second answer for you. Do you think the infinite balcony concept is going to be more widespread? Yes. I have no reason to believe Royal Caribbean is not going to continue rolling that out. The infinite balcony concept was something that came out on Celebrity Cruises first, and it's becoming to the Icon of the Seas and I think Utopia of the Seas. I forget now if Utopia has it or not, but I think so. I think there's a lot of reasons why Royal Caribbean likes it. So I think there's reason to believe with new ships, you'll see it. Will it come on older ships? I doubt it, but you never know. Is it only USA that gets prepaid gratuities plus 18% on bar and drink package and $400 in tips for boarding? Is this normal? Maybe I'm stingy, just wondering why. It's all the world, John. In some countries like Australia, they just bake it into the cruise fare, not the drink package, but the gratuities. But it's the same difference. You're paying it either way. The reason why you're doing that is because the crew members that are serving you work hard for that. They're providing you that service, and so that's the way it is. And obviously, John, even if you don't get the drink package, you're still or prepaid gratuities, you're still going to get that stuff charged to you automatically. It's automatic charge. The problem, I think, and this is where I think the problem is on a higher level. I think the issue for me, John, is that they're still calling it gratuities, as in the idea that it's optional. They're compulsory. And so, I just wish they would just bake it into the cruise fare and stop pretending. But there's a lot of marketing reasons why they don't do this. Anyway, I digress. The point is that this is just the way things are with cruises, and it's true for like all the cruise lines. So it's not just a Royal Caribbean thing. It's not just an American thing. It is the way of the world of cruising, as it were, right now. So, will you be going on a celebrity ship now that now that it will stop at Coco Key? So, if you didn't hear, Celebrity Cruises announced last week that it's going to start offering cruises that visit Perfect Day at Coco Key, and the answer is yes. Actually, did just this afternoon booked a cruise on Celebrity Reflection. I think I'm on the first sailing that goes there in April. I hope so anyway. But I just booked it there. So fingers crossed I will make that sailing. As many of you know, I like to do refundable deposits just in case to take care of that. What are the typical pool hours going on Allure this season? So I don't know off the top of my head, but you can actually get an answer to your question, Miller. If you go to royalcaribbeanblog.com and go to our cruise compass, we have an archive of cruise compasses, and it's in the main menu of the page. Find a cruise compass from Allure of the Seas. You can actually see the pool hours listed there. So we don't have to talk about in hyperbole or generalizations. You can go right in and get the answer there. It's not my way of deferring your questions. It's my way of getting you actually the most accurate information out there. So again, go to royalcaribbeanblog.com. In our main menu, it says Cruise Compass. Click on that, find Allure, and you'll have your answer right there. Can you please explain the bidding process for cabins? I'm on the fence about bidding. And we have some articles and some videos, I think, here on our channel about this as well, and over articles at royalcaribbeanblog.com. But essentially, you're placing a bid, Aaron. It's kind of like me saying, Aaron, if you wanted to upgrade to, such and such cabin type, how much would you be willing to pay? And of course, you're going to say, well, Matt, I don't know. Like, they'll say, okay, well, no worries, Aaron. We'll give you a range. Pick a number. And of course, you have no idea, Aaron, if number one, there is a cabin to upgrade to. Number two, if they're if someone else has already made a bid, so you don't know how competitive your bid is. But it's a hypothetical. And basically what Royal Caribbean does is they use that bid for the off chance, really somebody cancels their cruise at the last minute. Occasionally there are unsold cabins and they'll use that as well. But you go through, there's a link that you'll know about this because you're going to get an email from Royal Caribbean. You go in, you put in information, and then they give you a different kind of rooms, and you basically just there's a slider, and you choose the amount that you want, and that's basically it. And then they'll let you know. Oops, they'll let you know anytime between now and your sale date if you won the bid or not. Keeping in mind, by the way, that if you do win the bid, that it's binding, and Royal Caribbean picks the cabin assignment. So let's say you win a bid for a balcony, you don't get to pick where your room is. They're going to pick it for you. Something to keep in mind over there. What ship do you recommend for kids 10 and 15? Generally, I mean, again, I don't know which cruise you've been on or not, but certainly Odyssey of the Seas would be fantastic. Harmony of the Seas, Oasis of the Seas, any of the Oasis or Quantum class ships are usually a safe bet. So Wonder, Odyssey, Harmony, those are great choices for kids that age. There are many more beyond that. I'm just, trying to make it like more concise for you to narrow down your search there. Do you think someone can cruise too much? And before you all, say LOL, no, because that is do you really think that's the case? I do. I really do think you can cruise too much. I mean, personally, I think for me, I cruise a lot. And if it in a perfect world, I would cruise about once every 6 weeks or so. I find that after about somewhere around 6 weeks, maybe it's 3 weeks, maybe it's 5, but somewhere around there, I start to get the itch back. Like, I'm like, oh man, I really could go for like, the cruise lifestyle again. But people have asked me, Matt, would you ever want to live on a cruise ship, like, or cruise year round? And the answer is absolutely not. I would not want to. I like cruising a lot, but I like cruising because it's kind of an escape. But there are some things being on land I enjoy about it, but also it gives me a better appreciation for being on a cruise, being on land, that is. So do I think someone can cruise too much? Sure, but it's more of a personal taste than anything else. I mean, there are people that do cruise months at a time, and clearly they enjoy it and they love it. That's fantastic. Good for them. I'm not here to tell you that they shouldn't do that or that's a mistake, but I wouldn't necessarily say, oh, everybody should cruise, if you had the choice, everybody should cruise nonstop or anything like that. Because I do think there is such thing as too much. It certainly starts to, after a while, it's like, oh, this is great, but you miss certain things about land life a little bit. Maybe not the work aspect, but other things. My husband and I will be cruising for our anniversary. What are the special things Royal Caribbean will do for special occasions? There isn't necessarily much. I mean, when you go to a restaurant, mostly when you go to a restaurant, you tell them, hey, it's our anniversary. They may provide you a special cake, they may sing you a song or something like that. That's about it. You can purchase decorations for your cabin, but you got to purchase them. There's nothing in here, there's nothing automatic. Basically, what I'm trying to say is there isn't like a litany of things that you could do or get, if you will, for it being your anniversary. But certainly when you tell them, crew members will let you know that they'll if you let them know, rather, they'll celebrate for you and say hello and whatnot. So in Cozumel, what's the best beach day pass place to go? We're going on Icon during spring break. We're worried about crowds. If you're worried about crowds, there's only one place. Well, there's two places I would recommend. One would be Nachi Kokum. They're all inclusive. They have a hard cap. And the other one is Del Mar Latino Beach Club. Both of them have hard caps. Del Mar Latino has no sand beach, but you can walk there from the cruise ship, which is nice. They have a pool and whatnot, so you don't worry about getting too hot. And it's a really nice. One of our writers went there and had a really nice time. Nachi Kokum is the other one. Nachicoccom. Nachi Kokum is the other one. That has a beach. I've been there a number of times. I went there recently. I thought the service is kind of lacked right last time I was there, but it's still a good time. And it's a hard capacity. They don't oversell it. So I do, like, as an example, do not do Mr. Sancho's for that reason. Have I ever done the July 4th cruise? Yes. I did a July 4th cruise. One of my favorite ones was right when cruising restarted. I was on Freedom of the Seas, and they did fireworks because it was like a return to service. It was a big celebration. They don't usually do fireworks at all. But basically, there's a lot of 4th of July celebrations on board. You're going to have different decorations. You're going to have maybe even some special menu items, special drinks. Basically, it's a big party. It's an excuse to have a party on board the ship. So, hope that makes sense. Have a great 4th of July, everybody. Stay safe out there. Have a good time. We'll be back again next week from a different place, but still on the West Coast, probably at our normal time next week. Not to worry about that. Anyway, have a great week, everybody. Stay safe out there. Do something fun like book a cruise. And we'll talk again very soon right here on YouTube. Bye, everybody.